Breaking news, you guys. I wanted to bring you this video to warn you. 2026, you are going to start to see the phasing out of your cash. Now, with this is an urgent warning. You want to take steps right now because there are a lot of changes going on that you guys don't know about. And if you do not take steps to solidify yourself now, it can be desperation for you and your family. And I'm going to break it down in this video. Now, I never asked you guys, but please share this video with your friends and family because anytime I make videos on really deep information, the algorithms seem to slow down. Please like and share this video. If you did not see this announcement yesterday, watch this.
Today, the governor signed a bill in Apopka allowing people to use gold or silver coins to pay bills. He says it's a way for people to have financial independence from the federal government.
Most of us are used to paying for things with our debit or credit card or using cash. But today I was there when Governor Ron DeSantis signed a bill to make it legal to use gold and silver for payment.
Gold's gone up big time.
Right now, gold is about $3,000 an ounce. I mean, are you talking about going to McDonald's and paying for your hamburger with
100%? Absolutely. You can pay for your McDonald's hamburger using a debit card. So people will have gold and silver on deposit in a Florida approved depository. They'll issue a debit card. And if I spend a certain amount of gold out of my account to buy my McDonald's hamburger, McDonald's will either get US dollars, which they can, or they'll get gold.
I met Isaac, who was buying a slushy machine for his small business, who was very enthusiastic about using gold. Will you be okay with people paying you in gold?
Oh, yeah. That's just, like I said, it's better than money sometimes.
This legislation will authorize money services business like check cashers or PayPal to transmit and accept payment in gold and silver. That means these precious metals can start functioning like real currency again, not just investment vehicles for the wealthy.
Now, many people don't understand what this is signaling, but there's going to be a direction concerning your money and your banking. And if you are not prepared, you can lose big time. So I'm going to break down what's going on and what they're not telling you in this video. Now, my channel is designed to help you no matter where you are in your credit journey and how to leverage your credit to make money. So if you like this kind of information, subscribe to the channel and you can go to my website to download this free heart inquiry removal package. The link will be in the description of the video and the comment section below. Now, I don't know if many of you remember back in February around the Super Bowl, President Trump announced that they will stop making the penny. Now, many people take that lightly, but let's read this article so you can understand what the implications of this is really boiling down to. Now, from this article from Politico, Treasury advances Trump plan to stop minting the penny. The Mint expects that it will realize an immediate annual savings of $56 million by phasing out the production of the penny, according to the Treasury Department. The Treasury Department said Thursday it plans to phase out the production of the penny, making good on President Trump's directive that the U.S. government stop producing its 1-cent coin after more than 2 centuries. A Treasury spokesperson said that the agency had placed its final order of penny blanks this month and that the U.S. Mint would continue manufacturing pennies until that supply ran out. The Mint expects that it will realize an immediate annual savings of $56 million by phasing out the production of the penny, according to Treasury. The cost of producing pennies have increased by 20% in 2024 fiscal year to $3.69 per 1-cent penny, according to the U.S. Mint annual reports to Congress. The cost of producing the nickel shot up to $13.78. And it doesn't stop there. Money move. Chase, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo quietly plan new digital dollar after U.S. penny set to disappear. The banks are considering the option of a joint digital dollar per payments. It would be operating through a stable coin, notably a form of cryptocurrency that is tied to a traditional currency, which in this case would be the US dollar. Together, they'll work to use some existing networks to facilitate transactions using the digital dollar tokens, such as early warning services, which operates Zelle. The clearinghouse, the financial institutions seek to create a new infrastructure for the stablecoin so it's more regulated and secure. 11 states around the country currently allow gold and silver as legal tender, including Louisiana, Texas, South Carolina, and West Virginia. Also, while the extracted number may fluctuate as new legislation passed, the movement is gaining traction across many states. States that have been actively involved include Tennessee, Mississippi, Kentucky, Hawaii, and New Jersey. Additionally, states like Utah, Wyoming, and Oklahoma have taken further steps by recognizing gold and silver as legal tender. And 42 states have removed taxes from the purchase of gold and silver. Now, why is this important? So, I'm going to give you a simple example of what's going on and why this is extremely dangerous for you. So, here's a simple example for you to understand. When I was 17, I played basketball and I collected basketball cards with my brother. Now, we all know Michael Jordan, and this is the first dream team. Let's just imagine that this is a collector's item and there's only one of these cards. And say when I purchased this card, because I was 17, I knew it's the only one and it has great value. And I paid $1 million because I believe once I got older and retired, this is going to be for my actual retirement and I can live off the value of this collector's card. And as time go on, because any economy has inflation, this is going to increase in value. I use this as a store of my savings and me working at my job for 8 hours a day, $30 an hour. Now, as time go on, just imagine that the company says, hey, for us to raise money, we were able to sell this card for $1 million because it's valuable. Maybe we should produce more. And instead of this being one card that we can sell for $1 million, let's print 10 more. And maybe let's sell each one of these for 500,000 so we can raise more capital. So what does that do to me? As soon as they actually print more cards, my collector's item that I paid $1 million instantly decrease in value because now there are more cards in the system. And so my actual value of this card that I invested of $1 million get cut in half, and now it's only worth 500,000. I lost. And then they said, hey, that was a good idea. Let's print 10 more. And now with these 10 more cards, we'll sell them for 250,000. Then what does that do to me? I paid $1 million for this. It now decreases the value of this card that I invested for my retirement. I thought this value was going to go up, but because they put more cards in the system, they actually were robbing me of my value in an undercutted way, what I invested as a store of savings of my economic going to work every day by buying this card. Now, just in that simple example, the same thing is happening to you because you understand for something to be valuable, it's about supply and demand. And if there's a perceived limit amount for that simple card, which is simply a piece of paper and cardboard, the fact that it is only one, Michael Jordan's reputation of what his legacy is as a basketball player, is what people are willing to purchase that card for. And they're willing to take it as a exchange of value. And what's going on with the US dollar? They have put more dollars in the system. And just like that card, they are decreasing your wealth and your savings. So take this for example, this bottle of water. Before the pandemic, this was $1. But then when they started printing stimulus, lowering interest rates, just like that basketball card, they start putting more in the system. They started printing more dollars. So the limited amount of dollars that was already in circulation had more value because there was less available for everyone else. When they added more money in the system, if you were a person with a retirement of your 401k of $1 million, as soon as they printed stimulus, the value of your 401k purchasing power went down to 500,000. So all those years of working and saving, they actually robbed you of value. And so this bottle of water is no longer $1. Now the cost is $2. But your salary remains the same. It's $30 an hour, but you can buy less. So not only is this water going up, everything around you is going up. Your food, your rent. And a lot of you guys are thinking, why am I in such high credit card debt? I'm just doing the same thing I've been doing. I don't know why I can't make it at the end of the month when I used to have at least $500 worth of savings. It's because when they printed all that money, they robbed you. And because you were storing in dollars and they put more dollars in the system, now you're not realizing everything is slowly creeping up. And the only thing that is not going up is your paycheck. Once they double that money supply for you to live the same lifestyle you did before they printed, you need a $30 an hour raise just to maintain the same life of them printing that money with $30 an hour. Now everything doubled in price. So now you don't understand what's going on, why you have to use your credit card, because they are actually eroding you of your wealth. You're working at their businesses. And as they print money, not only are they reducing your pay and cutting it in half. So you think I'm making $30 an hour, but as soon as they print it, you're actually making $15 an hour because your purchasing power with more dollars in the system got cut in half. And so this is why you are struggling to make it, and you cannot outwork this to get ahead. It is super important at this moment in time, you guys, to clean up your credit and do not try to outwork this thing. You want to borrow like the rich with your name and then buy assets. Don't play that game of working because you cannot outwork this. They are printing this money and they have to oblivion, and now they're changing up. And the example of that, it's not that the penny is being worth more. It's actually the purchasing power of your dollar going down. They're actually robbing you. The reason why that penny is costing $3 to print and a nickel $13, it's because they put more dollars in the system and you need more of them to have the same value of that metal penny. So that 1 cent metal penny is actually now more valuable than your US dollar because it's metal and it's real and tangible. And so the wealthy, as Ron DeSantis said, they've been investing in silver and gold as a hedge to inflation. And they didn't have to work for anything. As they converted their cash to that asset of gold and silver, just by it sitting there, they have enriched themselves in value. So you're talking about in 2019, the average spot price for a gold eagle was $1,100. And now to date, the spot price is close to $3,600. It's not that the gold has went up, it's the purchasing power of your dollar went down. The gold and the silver, they can't print that. It's a limited supply and they can't put more in the system. So now those who have actually, like me, traded out this trash cash because we knew it was coming. And as I've been telling you guys for years, to buy silver and gold, I warned you that they were going to crash this dollar. Now they are putting the plan in effect. They know during the pandemic that they printed all this money. This is why the wealthier got wealthier, because they actually own real estate. They actually own stocks and things of value. And the more they printed those dollars, the higher their assets went up in value. I myself bought a rental property 20 years ago, a 3-family, around $170,000. That rental property before they start printing for the pandemic was worth about $369,000. And once they finished printing in that neighborhood today, those houses are now $954,000 in value. I did nothing. I not only went up in wealth, I also cash flow and rent out the 3 units and make money. And guess what? I work less because I made that investment and I leveraged the debt off of the mortgage and from my tenants, pay that mortgage off every month with money to actually support my lifestyle and living. And this is what the wealthy do. They buy real estate, they buy businesses. They're the ones selling you this bottle of water and they're doubling the price and they're getting wealthier because their businesses now in the pandemic made records of profit. And the federal government turned around and gave them PPP loans and forgave that money, saying you don't have to pay it back. But your student loans, You got to pay back. And they pit people against one another with propaganda on both sides. Because what they are not telling you, people like Nancy Pelosi, her husband, Paul Pelosi, got 28 million of PPP loan money. And then you have people like Marjorie Taylor Greene that she got over 183,000 of PPP loan money. And you had US corporations get over 763 billion in forgiveness for the Paycheck Protection Program. And you don't have any of your senators or congressmen on either side asking and demanding for that money back, even though in the pandemic, these corporation profits in the US soared from approximately 2.81 trillion in 2021 to 4 trillion by the end of 2024, meaning they had the ability at this point in time to pay back those loans. And instead of Americans fighting with one another, because many people on one side saying, hey, I feel this inflation and I paid my own student loans, so why should more inflation be created by forgiving somebody else's student loans, and people with student loans saying, hey, you're bailing everybody else out, why don't you help us out? They only highlight those conversations, but neither side tell you about the fact of those corporations paying that money back because they got that money themselves. And now they want to move away from the dollar because they got that money and they were able to invest in assets while we're suffering high inflation. So if you don't clean up your credit like never before and make sure that you are aiming for assets like businesses, income producing properties, or even just a single family home, something at least that you can live in, and as it goes up in value, you have an asset. Because trying to store your economic work, power, and livelihood into the US dollar, saving it in your bank account, it is going to put you in a bad position when they eliminate cash. Because as you can see from the article, the cash is devaluing quickly. And you want to make sure you can support your family. And one of the ways that I have been is investing in gold and silver, buying gold. And many people would complain where I told you guys over the years about it. Well, I can't buy bread with gold and silver. This is $1. You know, this is American Silver Eagle. Put it to the side. What do you know? Today I can buy bread with gold and silver and some hamburgers because this was the plot the whole time. I'm telling you guys, start getting these assets because no matter what the currency turns to, guess what? My tenant, if they need housing, is going to have to pay me the going currency of the day in order to have a roof over their head if they're renting. So now I have operation in a business like the wealthy, and all I did was leverage my job with my strong credit score. You don't want to have to work for this $20 bill because they print it faster than you can save it or make it. This $20 bill is not money. It is currency. It's a medium of exchange. Money must be a store of value. So when you're dealing with this is a US Silver Eagle. This is real money. My value went up by buying this for $11, $14. Now, in order for you to buy one of these, like close to $40 with me doing nothing. And so what you want to make sure that you're strategizing. I do trade out my currency for real money every month. So I've been doing that for years, trading out this for silver and gold. And now here they go, like DJ Khaled, you're smart. Give us your gold. Why would I do that? I'm not nobody's fool. They're setting people up for the market of beast, pretty much. You know, you're not going to be able to buy and sell on that cashless society. They want to be able to shut your money down and know how much taxation that they can tax you. Hopefully this information was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave it in the comment section. But if you have more detailed questions for me, you can go to my website and all your questions go directly to my cell phone. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned.